Hello all, I'm Tom, and this is the HP Victus 15, and since there are a ton of different models with the HP Victus 15 name, we'll specify this specific variant. This is the 15-FA0555TX, Texas. Now I'm not gonna say the model name again because that shit's just tiring. Let's move on. The Victus 15 is it's a pretty okay laptop. I know it's not the best, nor is it the worst. It's sort of in between. Here's one way to put it. Pro, you've got an RTX 3050. The con is you have an RTX 3050. The 3050 is just incredibly mid. It's got a teeny bit of VRAM at 4GB. That's, probably not the best for today's standards, but you're only really using it on a screen capable of a maximum of 1080p. That doesn't mean it's bad though, because that screen has a refresh rate of 144Hz, and 1080p is still a standard for a lot of gamers worldwide. But then again, the way the gaming industry is right now with game optimization going down the shitters, Anyway, the CPU on this thing is the i5-12450H. It's an alright CPU with a total of 8 cores and 12 threads. It's got a base TDP of 45 watts, which is typical, and it has a maximum turbo frequency of 4.4 GHz. Now, truth be told, this CPU is pretty good. It's decent for gaming, but it's nothing to behold, but it's still pretty good. Now, that's a confusing description, I know, but the key takeaway is that it's good. The GPU on this thing is, as previously mentioned, the RTX 3050 with 4GB of VRAM. Again, it's just a so-so GPU, but it's fine for 1080p gaming. Now, this thing only has 16GB of RAM, which is still reasonable, I think. You don't really need to upgrade or anything, but personally, I think 32GB is the sweet spot nowadays. It's not too low, but it's not too high. Just right. But then again, if you're not gonna do a lot of gaming while browsing or whatever kind of shenanigans you do, then 16GB is fine. Storage is one department I would absolutely upgrade though, as the HP Victus only has 512GB. Personally, I don't find that to be too much, or much at all. It's not that much, but I'd say it's fine to keep a few games in there and a few other files, but I would most definitely upgrade it. As for the ports, on the left we have one USB-A port, one 3.5mm audio jack, and an SD card slot. To the right we have one USB Type-C port, an Ethernet port, another USB-A port, and an HDMI 2.1 port. Let's talk about the gaming performance before we get to upgradability. Red Dead Redemption 2 on 1080p high settings without any upscaling runs at a smooth average of around 50 frames per second. The laptop also handles Cyberpunk 2077 pretty well at around 35 frames per second to the low 40s at medium settings and 1080p, no upscaling. The GTA 5, being a dated game, runs well at 1080p very high with MSAA at 2 times. And lastly, Forza 5 handles like a dream at 60 to 70 frames per second and high settings at 1080p. And now, upgradability. I'm sorry, my mouth farted. The laptop has some upgrade options, but nothing too fancy. You can upgrade the RAM, and I'd recommend upgrading to 32GB of RAM if you really wanna. Storage-wise, you only have one slot, so you'll need to do a fresh install of Windows if you want to replace the SSD with something bigger, in this case a full terabyte. If you want to get this laptop, you can scan this QR code along with these other QR codes for the upgrades, or you can click on the links in the description down below. I'm Tom, have a good day.